All right, folks, we are into pick and ban for round 5 of this Swiss tournament with House Party 5v5. I am Jeff, and along with me is Captain Flowers for this match between Never Clucky on the blue side and That Isn't Falco on the red side. How you doing, Flowers?
All doing great, my friend. This is going to be a wonderful game. We've got these guys coming in here for the House Party 5v5 Minor League, looking to work their way up through this Swiss tournament, make it into the actual promotion tournament, and hit up the Premier League. Going to be looking at those standard bans coming out. Fiora and Darius been terrorizing solo queue lately. Don't want those on the table. Diana and Azir, powerful picks as well.
Indeed, indeed. Now, it's going to be interesting to see with the way the bans have panned out. It looks like at least one Juggernaut might make it through. It's Garen that's still available. That's probably the one that personally I've seen the least of, though, especially recently.
He's one that you see the least of, and Skarner's actually fallen out of popularity too. If you take a look at the trends in terms of picks and bans across the last couple weeks, ever since the most recent nerfs to Skarner, he's really fallen in relation to what the other Juggernauts are being picked in terms of the frequency, and it's something you're just not seeing that frequently anymore. Vigor, however, a champion that is surging in popularity. People are finally realizing that pressing R on him late game can completely remove the health bar of the enemy mage, and they're taking advantage for it. Going to be locked in immediately on Never Clucky.
Honestly, one of the misconceptions I find about Vigar as well is that, you mentioned obviously the R with the bonus damage to, an AP target, but this guy is capable of blowing up AD carries just as well as AP carries when you get deep into the game.
Oh, absolutely. It's a champion with tons of potential to blow up anybody. Lulu going to be locked in. A champion that's a very powerful pick, and I like it a lot versus Vigar. I like it a lot versus anyone that's going to have to protect their team or themselves. It's a pick that can just farm it out, deal with him in the early game, and provide a lot of utility as the game goes on. Braum also going to be hovered.
Yeah, some would almost say that Lulu can kind of act as the anti-Vigar there. Just maybe saving somebody from that initial burst. Something else you see with Vigar a lot is the way that Event Horizon can be used to just completely, siege turrets, zone people completely off of small corridors in the jungle. Gragas maybe being considered for Never Clucky. And what about the Braum pick? That's, along with Lulu, that provides a lot of, I guess, anti-siege.
Well, what they're also potentially building towards on That Isn't Falco is the potential for a hyper carry composition. You've got a support who's wonderful at peeling enemies away. The Glacial Fissure is an amazing disengage tool. Winter's Bite allows the AD carry to stun someone up simply by hitting them. And then you've got Lulu, who is arguably the best utility mid laner or top laner in the game. So if this side on That Isn't Falco is going to be able to lock in a Vayne, or even better, a Kog'Maw, it's going to be a team that could potentially peel for them and create a window for that one character to just run away with the entirety of the game.
And that's one of the beautiful things about the Lulu pick that you mentioned in passing is that this is a flex pick. So you can pick it early, and it doesn't necessarily give away the possibility of a counter pick to the opposing team. There's the Kog'Maw that you just said, Flowers. Little prophetic right there. Meanwhile, the Morgana coming out, that's a pretty classic counter pick to the Braum, I feel, in the bottom lane, and the Sejuani as well.
It's also a pick that works well for Never Clucky, but just as important as picking it up for their own side, you want to be able to not allow the enemy to have that. Morgana's still a champion who can be played in the mid lane. Yes, they've already got Lulu locked in. Yes, they've already got Braum locked in. You could still put Morgana into that composition, and Morgana's a champion that still works in that composition. They're going to make sure that that's not allowed. They're also going to lock it in for themselves. Jinx and Gangplank going to round out the Never Clucky lineup.
Wow, so we are going to see a lot of hyper carry potential between these two AD carries. And Olaf looks like he'll be locked in the top lane. So we're going to have Olaf against Gangplank.
I absolutely love the Olaf pick against a team that runs Vigar. One of the biggest issues with Vigar, one of the biggest problems with him, is the fact that as a traditional squishy AP mage, he can't deal with that Berserker Bruiser rush. Olaf is a champion who's able to get through that cage. Normally the cage is what protects him. It stops those big, heavy enemies from being able to get on top of him and take him out of the fight and zone him away. Olaf's going to be able to ignore that and try to force him out of the fight, make it so he can't get that 100-0 burst to begin the engagement.
I like the Kog'Maw pick here as well, because not only, obviously, you mentioned the Lulu with, having the hyper carry potential as any late game Kog'Maw has, but just the range from that Bi-Arcane Barrage will keep him very safe, from the barrels of Gangplank and potentially the Event Horizon from Vigar as well.
I think it's a wonderful pick, not only for what their comp is doing, but for going up against the composition on Never Clucky. What we see on Never Clucky is huge amounts of zone control. You've got an AD carry who has a zone control mechanism. Most AD carries don't. You've got the chompers on Jinx. That's going to cut off one area of the battlefield that people can't easily walk through. Morgana herself is a walking zone control mechanism, with Soul Shackles being able to come out, lock everyone down, and make people gravitate away from her. Vigor's got the cage, Gragas has the barrels, Gangplank has even nastier barrels. There's so much control on this side of Never Clucky to try to manipulate the positioning of That Isn't Falco. Kog'Maw's got so much range, he doesn't care. He can stand miles away from those barrels and still pour out the damage.
Absolutely, and you notice the cleanse actually being picked up by Hi, I'm Kai, so that's certainly going to be a very safe Kog'Maw, although albeit a bit weaker in the lane phase. I wonder if perhaps we'll see any sort of lane swaps going on at the beginning of this game.
Could potentially be a factor, and generally when you pick the Kog'Maw, you're not looking to have that amazing of a lane phase, obviously. You're not looking to try to shove the tower in really early. You're not looking to try to make a huge impact or deny a lot of farm. He's a farming champion. He's a champion who needs a little bit of time to come into his own right. He needs some items to really get rolling, and that cleanse is going to be so huge in the late game. Because this champion is so critical to his team composition, because he is the damage. This isn't a team where you've got 3 or 4 different carries. This isn't a Gangplank top and a Victor middle. This is Olaf top and this is Lulu middle. Kog'Maw is the damage, and he realizes that one binding or one cage later on in the game is going to be more than enough to take him down and make it so his team can no longer win a fight until he respawns. Really respecting the cleanse pick, keeping track of that, and shoring up that weakness.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that Kog'Maw, you know, he obviously needs to farm up, he needs to ramp himself up, but one thing that is very interesting about him compared with a lot of other hyper carries like maybe Jinx is that he does have a very prominent mid-game power spike. With him being a Trinity Force champion, he really has the best of both worlds there. His weakness obviously is in the lack of mobility, which is why you see the cleanse and the Lulu pick being so valuable for him.
Oh, 100%. AD carry itemization is just, it's something you see people complain about all the time. Infinity Edge does not feel good as a first item to rush because on its own, it just doesn't feel like it's giving you that big of a power spike. You need that Zeal Evolution item with it to really come into your own. Kog'Maw doesn't have to worry about that awkward progression. Trinity Force first gives him a lot of damage, a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's still not going to be that huge late game damage until he gets all those items going. We'll have to see how it works out. Never Clucky versus That Isn't Falco. Will the zone control win, or will the Juggermaw comp come out on top? We're going to jump into the loading screen right now, but once we get back, these two are going to go at it. Stay right there. You don't want to miss a thing. A fast load screen, and we're here live on Summoner's Rift. It's going to be the House Party 5v5 Minor League. You're here with us live for Never Clucky versus That Isn't Falco. I'll be your play-by-play Captain Flowers, joined by my colorcaster Jeff. Jeff, how you feeling about this one?
You know, it's going to be an exciting match. I like seeing hyper carries, you know, and we've got plenty of them here in this game.
A lot of pings coming out early, and that moving around in groups means that we're likely to see some sort of level 1 aggression here. Whether or not it'll be some action is questionable. The teams are heading into opposite corners of the map, but they might run into each other should their paths take them that way.
Yeah, it looks like both teams have settled on invading the opposing team's red side. Although it looks like certainly Never Clucky have gone deeper at this point than That Isn't Falco. That Isn't Falco actually looked to counter an invade. They were expecting an invade, but they just picked the wrong side.
Oh, absolutely. They're just trying to catch someone around that corner, and it's a great position for them to take up. You see a lot of times when you go for a counter invade in solo queue, camp the brush, or they'll sit there and wait for you to do that. Sitting around that vision block of that corner is so smart because they walk into the brush, they think that they're safe, and as soon as they round the corner, they find everyone there waiting for them, and it's a wonderful way to get the drop on the opponent and end up actually being able to make the play happen and find that level 1 kill. This might be where they meet each other. Fognuggler going to be able to face check everyone that axes into the middle of 3. Trance and Goku being forced to flash away immediately. The meteor falls. Fognuggler down to about 100 HP. His first blood is going to go over to this blue team. Never Clucky manages to find the play originally. Ginger 5 going to have to flash away into that dragon pit. It's going to be the ooze coming backwards. 1 for 0 the overall result, but Never Clucky coming up big.
Oh, that was so much damage initially coming from Fognuggler with that Undertow. I really thought that was going to give them an advantage in the fight, but the AoE damage from Talisman's rockets were huge in that fight as well.
Absolutely. Well played on the side of Never Clucky. Thing that we can see that did work out well in this pre-minion spawning phase for That Isn't Falco, they do have this ward down here in between the 2nd and 3rd tier turrets on the side of Never Clucky into the bot lane. They're going to be able to use that to see if there's any lane swap shenanigans going on, but they're not worried about it. Talisman now in a 1v2 potentially. Winter's Bite going to connect on a flash. Forced immediately. He plays a little bit too far up and is forced to pay for it.
Yeah, that was just a greedy move by Talisman. You know, his support wasn't there. He really wanted to be in range to get a couple of CS, and a good job by the bot lane of That Isn't Falco to punish him for that.
Trash Waifu and Hi I'm Kai are going to have their choice of the engages here simply because of the fact that both of their opponents have no flashes to work with at this point. Should Trash Waifu land a good Winter's Bite if they're able to get that stun off and find the damage like they might be able to do right here, but the binding lands on the Hi I'm Kai, the cleanse being forced out immediately, the exhaust is down onto Talisman, heal comes out. Winter's Bite has not been procced yet, the red side having to back away from this one. That Isn't Falco going to have to be careful. Everyone hitting level 2 except for Morgana. Another binding connects. Trash Waifu now the target of the aggression coming out from Never Clucky. The Zap connects. Kai's in trouble. It's going to be one more hit. Talisman grabs the 2nd kill of the game. That's going to be a 2 for 0 coming out in the favor of Never Clucky.
What a brawl down in the bottom lane. Both teams refusing to back down from that one. It was interesting because I thought Hi I'm Kai was going to go down much earlier in that fight, but Talisman did a great job of recognizing that he had 3 stacks of the Braum passive on him, and he needed to disengage momentarily. Didn't matter, ended up getting himself some gold anyways.
Both bot laners doing a good job working with what they have. That literally did come down to the final auto, who got it and who didn't. He's obviously going to have the attack speed to be able to fire off that last one before Kog'Maw can. But well played coming from both sides. They really want to find this initial edge over their opponents, both being willing to play so aggressively.
Yeah, you've got 2-0 on the side of blue team now, and an assist and a kill over to Talisman's Jinx. That's going to be huge in allowing him to get ahead, because we talked already about how Hi I'm Kai is going to have a better mid-game spike with the Trinity Force. But if Talisman can get to a Zeal and an Infinity Edge at the same time as the Trinity Force, that will pretty much negate that.
Oh, absolutely. If you're hitting Trinity Force when the other guy's got 2 levels on you and an item and a half, it's really going to negate exactly that strength that you're looking for. Meanwhile, into the mid lane, it's going to be Vygar just continuing to stack that Q, something that's so terrifying if he can manage to do it well. And if he does manage to do it well, we're definitely going to see some crazy bursts coming out into the mid game.
Now, we talked about the Lulu pick a lot in Champion Select from Gingerfied, and it makes sense when you're trying to protect this Kog'Maw, but at the same time, it doesn't really threaten the Vygar pick in mid lane at all. There's no assassination potential. There's really isn't that much potential to bully him out of lane. So Izumi should be able to farm up pretty safely.
Absolutely. With this mid lane pick, they kind of just went for, okay, we're going to play to our own composition. We're not going to really worry about trying to shut down what they have. We're confident in Hi I'm Kai's ability to carry this into the late game. We're going to support him as best we can. And that's really the choice you have to make 99% of the time when you go into a lane. Are you going to play for the early game counter, or are you going to play for that late game synergy?
Overall,
CS pretty even across the board. Same thought coming out of here. Great minds thinking alike, Jeff. We've got it in cohesion right now. But yeah, the farm is even across the board.
Yeah, you know, obviously the kill advantage is going to benefit Talisman, but at the same time he's gone with an Avarice Blade, so not an ideal back timing for this Jinx down there. Really no advantage in combat stats other than the minuscule amounts of crit.
Absolutely. Avarice Blade is something that if you're the enemy, you actually like seeing the other AD carry grab that one if he picks up an early kill on you, because it means he wasn't able to go back and grab BF Sword. It means you're not actually at a disadvantage in future trades. Fugnuggler doing a good job of being able to avoid this barrel damage for the time being, just going to chop those down and grab some extra gold.
Now, X-Confidence hanging out down here. He does have flash available still, and everyone knows how dangerous those flash body slam ganks can be, but looks like he may back off for now.
Not going to be able to find anything for the time being. Izumi and in a cage onto Gentrified, but expertly sidestepping that one. Lulu's got some quick feet. It's going to be another binding landing onto High I'm Kai, but the shield from Trash Wife is going to be able to block a little bit of that away. The zap will not connect. The minions blocking that one. Talisman and Trance and Gukyu doing a good job of maintaining some lane dominance, but still, Kog'Maw having the CS advantage.
A very nice stand behind me and unbreakable by Braum right there to really save High I'm Kai from a lot of damage after being hit by those chompers.
He eats the zap for him, too. What a support. This is the kind of guy you want to model your teammates after, making sure that he's always the one taking the brunt of the hits, and the AD carry gets to walk away nice and clean. Barrel's going to connect this time into the top lane. Just a little bit of poke onto Olaf, but it's really nothing too serious.
Now, one thing I want to touch on a little bit is that we have the Sejuani pick coming out from Dire Escape, and Sejuani has really fallen out of favor in recent months. A lot of it is because her early jungle clear, until she gets to level 6, she is very vulnerable, and she's not very strong until that point, but she has been able to farm the jungle and clear it without any sort of contest from X-Confidence.
The biggest thing that I'm looking at in terms of her early game that I'll have to get to after this gank is going to be the Gangplank ultimate dropped into the top side. Fugnuggler could be in danger here, but he's got the Ragnarok, going to be able to walk away from that one. Down to about a third HP, but no actual danger for being killed. Dire Escape into the mid lane. Sejuani hits level 6, and the little guy might be in a lot of trouble. Wild Growth is there. The flash comes out. Dire Escape wins the ultimate. That's going to be Izumi walking away safe for the time being. High I'm there into the mid lane. Dire Escape now in a little bit of a dire situation, having to walk away. Another teleport. Fugnuggler into the mid lane. It's a 3v2. It's a 3v3.
Everybody
Dire Escape goes down. Izumi, he takes the kill. It's going to be Trash Waifu looking to drop here into the bot side. 4-0. Never Clucky taking the lead in this one. Fugnuggler in a lot of danger. He does not have Ragnarok to get away from this one. The damage won't quite connect. 4-0 overall, 12.7 to 10.6 thousand gold. Never Clucky, 2k up. 8 minutes into this game.
Oh, Dire Escape, that Glacial Prison completely whiffed. I thought X-Smithy was over in Europe right now.
That was a crazy amount of action into the mid lane, and bot lane is looking to continue to keep that pace up. High I'm Kai going to go down for the second time this game as Talisman racks up his third kill. Kog'Maw not able to explode onto that Morgana in time.
Oh man, and this, boy, Never Clucky is off and running right now. A 3k gold lead at 8 minutes in. Didn't get a chance to really see what happened in that bot lane, but even with the Avarice Blade by Talisman and Trance and Goo able to certainly out-skirmish High Kai and Trash Waifu in that instance.
A lot of early game power, presence, and just mechanical skill coming out from Never Clucky. They're outplaying across the map, and they're making it so they're going to be the more powerful team come these mid-game areas. Their zone control comp is going to work really well with the advantage that they're building up for themselves.
Overall, actually, CS numbers still remain pretty even, but my goodness, 3-0-1 on Talisman's Jinx now, compared to the 0-2 of High I'm Kai. And we talked about the Avarice Blade being an unfortunate buy before. Now he has that BF Sword. No worries, BF Sword against a Phage is going to be very, very ugly for the bot lane of That Isn't Falco.
Yeah, High I'm Kai is going to have a lot of trouble being able to trade effectively with this Jinx now. Airman Fug getting into a little bit of a fight topside. Gangplank able to trade very effectively with those barrels and that passive. The burn is down, but Fugnuggler's got the Ragnarok looking to return the damage.
Oh, what a duel.
No, High I'm Nair caps him in the kneecap and walks away from that one with the flash. It's going to be the rest of his team looking to potentially make a fight happen into this bot side. X-Confidence posting up here again, but they do have the Sejuani nearby if That Isn't Falco gets into trouble.
Yeah, now... Oh, Fugnuggler up there. I don't mind him going for that duel because with the Olaf passive and everything, as you get lower on health, obviously you get more powerful. High I'm Nair landing that barrel in the middle of that duel was really the difference maker. Very nice usage of those barrel mechanics.
It was a close fight. It's one that I respect Fug for trying to take because it's a fight that he could potentially win if things went a little bit differently. But good pre-planning coming out from Nairb. He set the barrels down. He made sure that he had one to shoot so he could place the second one and grab the chain explosion from that one. And that's what you have to do, especially early on with Gangplank. Chaining those explosions, really the only way to actually reliably grab the damage with the tick down on them being way too long.
A 3,500 gold lead coming out now as another battle in the bot lane.
Gonna be able to find some damage. The snare onto High on Kai, an Unbreakable doing what it can to keep him alive. The Soul Shackles onto both. Trash Waifu gonna weigh that Glacial Fissure, but he's in danger. The Super Mega Death Rocket takes him down. Talisman, you're on a rampage. 4-0-1 on this Jinx. 11 minutes into the game.
Now, Exhaust was still available for Trash Waifu, it looks like, during that fight. Not sure if he just wasn't quite in range to the long range of Talisman's Jinx. But that time, he once again did a good job shielding for his AD carry. But Talisman and Trans and Goo are just so far ahead right now that they can just turn their attention to him and say, okay, we'll just kill the Braum.
This bot lane is getting absolutely out of control. Dire Escape might have to try to do something here. A binding almost connecting onto him. A very defensive and questionable ultimate coming out. Throw that one onto Morgana and just walk away saying, hey, I see you. You better get out of here.
Yeah, that is in Falco is in a lot of trouble right now because they're running this Protect the Kog'Maw comp and they're falling really far behind at this point. It's only going to be not much longer probably before Clucky starts setting up around this dragon and tries to stack those up as well with all the zone control that they have from the Veigar and the Morgana and of course the Gangplank barrels.
Now see, when you have a Protect the whatever comp, generally not the worst thing in the world if a couple people fall behind, except if the person falling behind is the whatever that you're trying to protect. And when the opposing AD carry is 4-0 on your guy who's 0-2, who's now down almost 30 CS, it's what you might call a worrying trend.
Absolutely. Now down in the bottom lane, we talked about CS being even despite all things earlier, but now we're seeing nearly a 30 CS advantage for Talisman. This bot lane is being completely snowballed at this point.
Morgana just hitting binding after binding. He makes this ability look like it's point and click. High on Kai forced to blow the cleanse once again as Fugnuggler and Nair getting into another 1v1, but Gangplank just delivering the damage and walking away as Zumi and Ginger fight. 1v1 here in the mid lane. Lulu looking to be able to finish him off. She does not have any sort of offensive teleport. It's going to be X-Confidence knocking her away. A little bit of barrel displacement. But overall, nobody really going to be in too much danger there into the mid lane. Trash Waifu taking some more damage, but that shield doing a wonderful job blocking the damage from those rockets.
Now, the one thing that I really want to see more of from Clucky right now is they have these advantages, specifically in the bot lane. I really would like to see them trying to get more vision control in the blue side jungle of that is in Falco. As we touched on earlier, Sejuani, really just wants to clear and farm up. Obviously, she's level 6 now, but I really think they could be extending their pressure at this point.
It's something that's very hard for them to do at any specific point, especially early on. A lot of teams actually, if they have a lead like this, 7-0, a lot of teams actually aren't used to doing this, especially if it's a team that hasn't been playing together super long. You kind of hit this 7-0 point where you're ahead 5k at 13 minutes, and it's like, well, wait, what do we do exactly? Like, obviously, you can play aggressive and you're stronger, but there's a difference between playing well and playing the absolute best you can. A lot of teams sometimes don't know how to snowball that as effectively as they can, and it's difficult to do. Like, that's not a scenario that you generally practice for. Well, okay, when we make them behind by 5,000 gold early on, how are we going to cut them out of the game? It's a really interesting scenario.
That's a great point, Flowers. I mean, how often do you get games that start off this well?
Trash Waifu into the bot lane. It's Dire Escape looking to finally turn this around, but it's going to be Trash Waifu dropping first and foremost the exhaust onto High on Kai. Fugnuggler shows up. Trance and Goku's going to drop immediately. It's a 2-for-0, a 1-for-0, excuse me, so far. It's going to be Trash Waifu, the only one dead. Dire Escape, High on Nair shows up into the backdrop. Talisman now under pressure from that Olaf. The wonderful Gragas barrel peeling him away. Fug having to walk away from this one. Still, 1-for-1 overall, 8-1. It's going to be the rest of this isn't Falco trying to walk away and disengage this one. They found an even trade, and when you're that far behind, you gotta just accept that.
Man, I gotta say, a great job by Clucky there between Talisman and X-Confidence's barrel. You talked about it, keeping Talisman alive in that fight. When you're a low health Jinx and you've got Fugnuggler's Olaf chasing after you up the river like that, I'm surprised they didn't give up the shutdown gold there. But that right there is, you touched on the AD carry itemization complaints of late. Also just the meta complaint as a stun onto Olaf.
Stun onto Olaf isn't actually going to be able to find too much of anything. Gets a little bit close, still able to walk away for the time being. It's going to be high. It's going to be Never Clucky, excuse me, getting my names mixed up. Going for that dragon. The rest of the team showing up to just zone their opponents away. That isn't Falco. Going to lose a turret, and it looks like they're going to be losing a dragon here too. Blue team taking over not only the kills, but the objectives as well.
6,000 gold lead now. And just to touch on what I was talking about earlier, you talked about AD carries complaining about the lack of itemization choices, or also often disappointed with the teleport meta of right now, where you often get those 5v5s in the bot lane out of nowhere. That was one of those that, you know, certainly I'm surprised the Talisman lived through that one.
It's definitely turning into bot lane being the butt end of all the jokes here on the meta or League of Legends in Season 5. They get teleported on by solo lanes looking to farm. They have crappy itemization decisions, but that's not stopping Talisman, who's 4-0-2 this game and looking to take down the second turret of the game for his team. The Super Mega Death Rocket will not connect him to Gingerfied, but Trash Waifu taking so much damage once again. Dire Escape, gonna charge him the wall. He's going to have to flash out of the cage, but the Zap connects. One more rocket, two more rockets. Wildgo keeps him safe, but a wonderful barrel from X Confidence brings him back into the fray. He's gonna go down. High on Nair takes credit for that one. Transiguku walking away from the turret, and another 1-for-0 coming out in favor of Never Clucky.
Oh, what a great job by X Confidence. Had some great explosive casts in the last few minutes, and really that was just, even with the Lulu, Gingerfied put the shield, put the ult, and all of it wasn't enough to save Dire Escape.
Just incredibly well played by Never Clucky. The shot placement on these guys between Transcend and X Confidence is just absolutely ridiculous. These guys have just been playing these champions forever, I guess. They've gotten so used to what they're doing. They know exactly where they need to throw those skills, and it's really showing here.
We saw Hi, I'm Nair, you know, he was actually a little later down to that fight in the bottom lane, but he has managed to accrue nearly a 50 CS advantage over Fugnuggler up here. Not sure exactly when that started to stack up. It may have been after that initial duel that they shared, but in any case, it's not just the bot lane that's snowballing now, it's all over the map.
Everybody taking advantages in terms of Never Clucky. Jinx is up almost 40. Vygar's up 10 in his own right. And then, like you just said, Gangplank and Olaf actually the biggest discrepancy in the game right now. It's going to be very difficult for That Isn't Falco to get back into the game at this point. They're down 9,000 gold at the 17.5-minute mark.
They're up 9,000 gold, and you know what, Flowers? Over 3,000 of that is coming from just the AD carry position.
And it's going to be very difficult to deal with her as she got ahead. This was a game where if either AD carry found themselves really far ahead come the mid game, it was going to be very hard for the other team to deal with them due to how much protection both teams have for the AD carry through either the Protect the Kog'Maw comp or all the ridiculous zone control. If you want to get to Talisman, you've got to go through Soul Shackles, Bindings, cages, barrels, and barrels of a different kind. It's going to be hell and high water to even breathe on this guy.
You know, there's a lot of stuff to get through when even an Olaf can't do it.
Yeah, it's going to be Fugnuggler being forced to blow Ragnarok just to even think about getting near Jinx. And the problem is, that's a cooldown that's not exactly something you can use too liberally. I mean, you got 90 seconds. As soon as it's down, you're going to have another 84 seconds before that thing's going to come back up. And that's 84 seconds of Talisman just running and gunning all over your team.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm Kai, going to be able to use that support from Trash Waifu to punish Talisman's aggression here. He tried to do the same thing he did at level 1, the 1v2. It doesn't work out for him, and Hi, I'm Kai grabs the shutdown. That is exactly what That Isn't Falco needed. Dire Escape and Gingerfied possibly going to find the kill onto Izumi as well. He flashes up the wall. He keeps himself safe for the time being. X Confidence bot side looking to take down Kai. One barrel's going to do it. He ends up going down, not able to find anything with the dead body once again. Looks like Gingerfied off to the side, looking to try to make some sort of flank happen here. Trash Waifu in the middle of everyone. Izumi still so low, but he's high enough to be able to defeat Trash Waifu. Dire Escape and Ginger now looking to peel away from X Confidence. The binding will not be able to connect onto Ginger. Looking to take a drink and continue this fight. X Confidence just going to be forced to back away from that one. 11-2 now the team score. Still an almost 10,000 gold lead for Never Clucky despite the Jinx shutdown.
Oh, that sequence of events really exemplified how far ahead Never Clucky is right now, because Talisman really got caught out. Some hubris right there. Trying to 1v1 Hi, I'm Kai, despite the fact that it wasn't a 1v1. He had help nearby. Talisman should have realized that he was alone down there. In any case, still turns out in the favor of Never Clucky a 2-for-1.
It's a question you kind of have to ask yourself. When you're a character who's really far ahead, you are dueling an opponent who's clearly behind you, and all of a sudden it's like he decides to 1v1, you're thinking, oh man, this is great. This guy's going to fight me one-on-one. Free kills. But at that point, it should kind of register. It's like, wait a second, something's up here. Why is he trying to fight me? This isn't a fight he can win. And that's when Trash Waifu shows up. He finds the CC and he brings him down. Talisman still almost took Kai out in the 1v2 before he died, but close but no cigar is not going to cut it in League of Legends. Hi, I'm Kai in a lot of trouble now.
Boy.
The 2v1, the shoe is on the other foot. Talisman takes him down, barely losing any HP. The dead body looking for Transiguku, just going to tickle him a little bit on that one. Fugnuggler and Nair into another potential 1v1 topside. Gangplank drops the barrel. He finds the shot onto Olaf instead of the barrel. The undertow connects. Fug might be looking to take this one all the way. The barrel that time is going to be able to explode. The axe gets picked up. Fug going to be able to connect another one of those, but not not willing to turn it into a dive.
Yeah, you know, the Olaf versus Gangplank matchup, on paper, it doesn't seem so bad for the Olaf, because you have the Ragnarok to run through the slows, but, you know, Gangplank does have that citrus fruit available. And with that, he can get out of your slows as well, obviously just one of them. But overall, you know, Fugnuggler has done his best in this game, I feel. He had that unfortunate duel, and obviously the rest of the map has snowballed. But he's holding his own, at least at this. He's not being bullied out of lane.
Yeah. Olaf's a wonderful champion for the early and mid game to be able to fight Trash Waifu. Going to be binded. X Confidence on top of the Super Mega Network. Going to take the credit. Talisman just to 6-1 as the blue side, Never Clucky, looking to roam into their opponent's jungle and just start taking everything.
And I'm Kai just now getting his Trinity Force. We're at it's a post 20-minute Trinity Force, it looks like. Second Dragon about to come in for Never Clucky. There may be no way back here.
See, we were talking about how it's going to be bad for him if he finds Trinity at the same time that Talisman has Infinity Edge and Zeal. Talisman just heard us and must have wanted to make a point because he's got Infinity Edge and the completed Shiv by the time Kog'Maw has the Trinity Force. The Power Spike actually does mean nothing whatsoever now. Kog'Maw's in a lot of trouble.
Actually had Div when Kai only had Phage and Sheen. It was an incredible mismatch. That's probably why Talisman was almost able to 1v2 down there a few minutes ago.
He's still sitting on 1,550 gold despite having that much items, so when he goes back, he'll be able to afford either the pieces of that last Whisper or just go for another BF sword if he's feeling really, really cocky. We'll have to see exactly which one he goes for as the rest of his team now dropping so much vision into the jungle if that isn't Falco.
There's just so little gold. Oh, action in the bot lane.
Looking to drop a little bit of zone control. Kai being forced to cleanse again just to walk away from the cage, and that's why he took the summoner spell. Would have been a death there if the cleanse was not available. Fugnuggler going to get locked down. The rest of that isn't Falco, unable to pursue.
There's just so little income available to that isn't Falco right now. You see a few members trying to stack up some armor. There's a couple Glacial Shrouds coming out, but that's not going to be enough at this point.
Oh, absolutely not. At this point in the game, you need a lot of armor. You need a couple big armor items to be able to deal with this Jinx to effectively run into the enemy team and tank her. And the problem is, Jinx is drawing so much attention simply because, you know, she's 6-1-4. She's the big player in this game. But at the same time, you've got Azumi to think about. He's going to still be a threat. He's already farmed up 158 bonus AP. He's currently sitting on a grand total of 458 at the 23-minute mark, and he's going to hit really hard on these full armor targets.
Yeah, you really start to wonder if there's a way back into this game for that isn't Falco, aside from, you know, some big throws potentially from Never Clucky, because every lane has now snowballed ahead for them.
Well, what you're looking at is a 23-minute game with a 13,000 gold deficit. At this point, there actually is no play that isn't Falco can make to allow themselves to win this game. There's nothing they do, nothing that they end up deciding that wins this game for them. At this point, it's up to Never Clucky to lose.
Absolutely.
And it's something that's going to be difficult for them to do because of how far ahead they are, because of how well they've been playing so far. They clearly know what their comp is designed to do, and they've been executing it well. They're going to have to essentially try a Baron, get 5-for-0 aced twice, and let Kog'Maw get every single one of those kills. That will bring that as a Falco back into this game.
Now, Never Clucky doing a much better job. Maybe I called for it a bit early, but they're doing a great job now of just lighting up the jungle of That Isn't Falco. More wards, honestly, from Never Clucky in That Isn't Falco's jungle than That Isn't Falco has in their own.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a big blue Christmas tree over there. There's not a blind spot available for Never Clucky in the Falco jungle, and they just want to be able to catch these Falco members out. There's only one turret left standing for That Isn't Falco outside of the base, and it is that top lane turret, the least important one. Once they take that one down, they're going to exert their control over the entirety of this map that isn't Falco's base. Fugnuggler, and a lot of pressure from Nerb topside. He's not going to be able to find the kill quite yet. Trash Waifu looking to rotate up here, but he might have bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Forced to flash away. Nerb drops the ultimate down. He's not going to be able to find the kill onto Waifu, the Unbreakable. Going to block the damage from that parlay, but he finds it in the end. The ultimate able to grab that one high. I'm Kai, the Wild Growth forced out onto him. X Confidence almost taken down Gingerfied. The barrels finally don't connect, but now Talisman is able to rip down this turret with that minigun, and this is going to be the base of That Isn't Falco looking to break here 25 minutes into the game.
The pressure I'm Nerb drew up in that top lane was crazy. 3 members came up. used everything on him, couldn't take him down. He almost got a couple of kills by himself and still ended up getting the turret.
That isn't Falco looking to try to collapse on this and make something happen. Trance and Goku taken very low. Fugnuggler wants to make something happen here, and he finally brings him down. Morgana going to bite the dust. That's the third kill of the game for Falco. The entire time, Nairb still pushing top lane. They cannot continue this chase.
And the biggest thing there is that the inhibitor went down. Cracking the inhibitor shell is really the only thing that isn't Falco had left to try and defend. Realistically, it was never going to happen, but this game is essentially over, if you ask me.
And it's not just an inhibitor, it's bot lane inhibitor.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is the inhibitor to have. They've now got the ability to pressure onto Baron. I mean, they had it in the first place. Honestly, when you're 15,000 gold ahead 26 minutes into the game, you can afford to go to Baron with all 5 enemies up because you can just turn and fight them and still win at that point. But Never Clucky now with a wonderful opportunity to just move up, take Baron, and seal the game away afterwards.
At this point, honestly, we talked about, you know, the bot lane inhibitor certainly opening up Baron, but I'm not even sure if Never Clucky needs Baron. I don't even know if you go for that, because there's, you know, a very small opportunity, of course, for a steal. I still don't think it would cost them the game, but it would extend it a few minutes. I don't think they need
almost it. Down. Azumi going to take him down through that Unbreakable, forcing the 5v4, and this is going to be Never Clucky, a free Baron almost guaranteed. Dire Escape going to have to try to dash in there and steal this one away. Normally it's risky, but you got to try to make some sort of crazy miracle play just to keep yourselves alive in this game. Talisman on a killing spree, going to take him down. The Death Rocket has no room for dreams. Gingerfly going to be taken down by Azumi as well. 3 different members of Falco picked off in 3 different instances, all the while Never Clucky takes Baron.
The 17,000 gold lead now at 27 minutes.
Nairb just setting up shop inside the enemy base. Falco doing what they can to deal with him. Going to be able to force the flash to get him from that danger. It's going to be another cleanse from Kai to keep himself away from this danger. Talisman now forcing the pressure onto this turret. The base of that isn't Falco is shortly going to be a ruin. Fugnuggler dropping incredibly low. The zone control tools are there, and Talisman 8 kills. 28 minutes. He is carrying his team. It's not like they're dead weight, though. The entirety of Never Clucky is just destroying that as a Falco. Dire Escape doing what he can to try to get away from this one. 1 hit left. The zap will not connect, but X Confidence going to knock him backwards. Talisman grabs another kill for himself. Both Nexus turrets now down on 3 versus 5. That is a Falco doing what they can to hold on, but it's not going to last much longer. The Nexus blows 26 minutes into the game. Never Clucky, what a performance.
Great stuff from Never Clucky, my goodness. As you said, Talisman obviously, you know, was the one putting up numbers, but that was a team effort to dominate that game the way they did. X Confidence specifically impressed me. He had some incredible explosive casks.
What a game from everyone on Never Clucky. We were praising Talisman the entire time, but he was able to do what he did because Trance and Goku has some insane talent to change the tooltip on that Dark Binding to say, click an enemy, they're stunned for 3 seconds. He hit all those stuns constantly. He set up Talisman 24/7. I don't think Kai's cleanse came off cooldown and stayed that way for more than 60 seconds at a time. He never had it available to use. Just wonderfully well played from everyone on this Clucky squad.
Absolutely. A very, very dominant performance that should put other teams in the Swiss tournament on notice about Never Clucky.
They're definitely going to be guys to watch out for. Stick around, guys. We're going to be live here again in just a few minutes for the next match. You don't want to miss it. Stay right there.